guys, we're having a quick look at the brand new Yamaha MODXM line today. A not unexpected new release, but if you're new to Yamaha gear, let me give you a quick recap on why. Essentially, for many years now, the MODX line has been sort of a stripped back, lighter, more portable, more affordable repackaging of their Montage flagship instrument. So it's sort of got all the main ingredients of the Montage, just sans a few of the premium bells and whistles. It's more aimed at sort of working, gigging musicians rather than kind of producers and composers. So with the Montage line getting a big update to Montage M a little while ago, we have been expecting a big update to filter down to the MODX line as well, and it's finally here. So let me give you a quick fire rundown of some of the headline new features. Possibly the biggest update to the MODX is the addition of the third sound engine, the ANX virtual analog synth. This joins the FMX engine, the FM synthesis engine, and the AWM sample playback engine. We now have class-compliant multi-track audio over USB in and out. We've got more hands-on control. We now have 8 sliders over here for our parts rather than 4, and we have a couple of new buttons for easier navigation. And worth mentioning as well, all the knobs on the panel have been upgraded to high resolution, so you'll have smoother control over your sounds. The onboard memory has essentially doubled, so we have a much bigger library and much more room for expansion. The total voice count on this thing is a whopping 268 voices. That splits to 128 for both the FM sound engine and the sample playback sound engine, and 12 for the ANX. So that really illustrates how much extra processing is required for that analog emulation. And as we saw with the Montage M, there is a plug-in version of this instrument coming. So that'll work in sync with the hardware. It won't be available separately to the hardware. You have to buy the hardware to have access to the plug-in, and enables you to build patches and save them to the machine and gig without your laptop and all that sort of thing. And lastly, it's worth mentioning that just some general tweaks and updates have been made throughout the unit. The navigation's a bit faster and smoother. There's some more effects, there's some more ARPs, but nothing in the software has been changed significantly, so you're not going to be thrown off if you're an existing MODX user. Now, I want to have a chat about the ANX engine for a sec, because I feel like maybe not that many people know the sort of history there. Yamaha have low-key been really good at virtual analog synthesis for a long time now. The name ANX actually harkens back to the AN1X hardware synthesizer, I think from like the late 90s, so almost 30 years ago, where other manufacturers seemed to struggle to convey that sort of lively, warm character of those early analog synths. Yamaha just seemed to nail it. And even when I was getting into synths like 20 years ago, you know, trolling the forums as a teenager, I was reading about the AN1X and what a secret weapon it was. So that's the legacy that's going into the ANX engine. It's very much the AN1X brought up to 2025 spec. At its core, it's a 3 oscillator, 2 filter, analog style subtractive synthesizer, and it sounds absolutely glorious. So let's check out a few patches. So the MODXM is very much a one-stop shop for just about any sound a gigging musician could possibly desire. You've got all manner of pianos and electric pianos and keys instruments, orchestral sounds, synth sounds. Actually, I could just bring up the categories in front of me here. Pianos, keyboards, organs, guitars, bass, strings, brass, woodwind, synth lead, pad, choir, synth comp, chromatic percussion, drum percussion, sound effects, musical effects, and ethnic. So that's pretty much all bases covered, I think. But the sounds themselves are only part of the story, because where this unit really excels is its ability to layer and move between those layers. So it's 16-part multi-timbral, but even within the sample engine, for example, you can have up to 128 layers per part. Now, on top of those already mind-boggling possibilities, we also have motion sequencing. So there's 4 lanes of motion sequencing on the MODX, and what they allow you to do is kind of up to you, but you can morph between timbres and layers abruptly or smoothly. There's really limitless possibilities for how you set these lanes up. And on top of that, we also have this great big macro controller here, the super knob. Now, the super knob is sort of the same. You can set that up however you like. You can control numerous things at once, or it can control one thing at once. It can also be a part of your motion sequences. So let me track down a few of the more complex patches in the library, and I'll give you an idea for how some of these sound designers at Yamaha have set these up. Hang on, did I not mention yet that this thing has like 10,000 arpeggiator patterns on board? It is absolutely mind-boggling. I reckon I could lose a day just in the arpeggiator section alone. And you can also make your own with the inbuilt pattern sequencer as well. Now, I did mention at the top of this video that this is a keyboard designed for gigging musicians, and a big part of that is its weight. So this is the 88 key model with the fully weighted keys, and this comes in at about 13.5 kilos, which is pretty manageable for an 88 key keyboard. 88 key keyboard, yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But the 61 key model, that comes in at like 7.4 kilos. So that's pretty manageable for most people, even on public transport and things like that. But when you get to the gig, the connections on the back that you will find are the stereo output, stereo input, 4 controller inputs, MIDI in and out, a couple of USB ports there. And that's kind of it. It's everything you need and nothing you don't. And I should mention, through that stereo input, you do have envelope followers, which can play into the super knob and your motion sequencing. So that's another avenue of sort of dynamic sound design you can explore. And there's actually even a vocoder on the input as well. So yet another thing to play with on the MODXM. So overall, I think it's fair to say that the MODXM provides us with a feature set and breadth of sonic possibilities that would take a lifetime to explore. I will say that all that complexity and all that power does introduce a learning curve. I think that's fairly inevitable, and it's a pretty different experience to using a traditional sort of knob per function synthesizer. You are navigating mostly through the touchscreen and, when appropriate, the navigation buttons. But with the incredible quality of the sounds coming out of the MODXM, the possibilities are so far beyond what a traditional synth can offer, and all the possibilities that it unlocks. I think maybe the juice could be worth the squeeze. So that's it for me today, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. These are available at Mannys and Store DJ now, so come and check them out and come and get your hands on it. My name's Mike. I'll see you in the next one.